So I'm making this video to kind of just vent a little bit, but also to see if anyone has just had a complete breakdown like I have. So yeah, it's my first semester of grad school, and of course it's intense. We have due dates all the time, a lot of projects. Um my major is journalism, so of course I anticipate I would have a lot of fun and doing a lot of assignments, and that definitely has been a big part of it, making videos and kind of doing stuff I was interested in, not so much math, not so much science. So I was like, there's very few problems I could run into. So I guess, yeah, that's kind of how I came in. Um, for now, I won't say the city and the school I go to because I'm not sure if I'm gonna actually pursue something that someone told me at this university, but that's a whole nother story I might do a video on. I'm not sure. But it's just, it kind of ruined me a few weeks ago. But I guess I should say at the beginning of the semester, I was doing really well. And I was doing really well, but I also had personal problems going on. So I had just issues with my family, and then I had my ex was basically harassing me. He would just keep sending me messages, calling me every day. Even when I would block him, he would do stuff like he bought me a plane ticket and sent me a picture of the plane ticket, and he was like, you should come with me. He would send me emails. I'd put them in the spam folder, but I kept looking over my shoulder to see if he would kind of follow me. And a lot of people were like, oh, he might know where you are because you talked about going to grad school, and sometimes people can tell by your social media, even though I had blocked everything except one time. This girl I met tagged me in something, and I didn't block her because I just added her, so I didn't say she couldn't write on my wall. I don't know, but there was 5 minutes where someone could have seen that. But eventually I started school in end of August. By end of September, he finally kind of stopped messaging me because I said I was gonna get a restraining order. So I was going through all of that, but I still managed to do my assignments really well and get everything done. And then the other personal thing that kind of was happening at the same time, and still kind of is happening, is my parents my parents just have a lot of problems that they like to tell me, and kind of not put them on me, but I originally moved here so I could be closer to my dad, and when he dropped me off, he kind of went and disappeared. It was so dramatic and confusing. My family down here kept calling me saying oh, where is he? So I came down here to kind of have another family by me, and this was the only school I was accepted to, so I'm not gonna complain, but it happened to be where my family was, so that's why I even applied at all. So it was I came here August 19th, and school started a few days later. And since that day that my dad dropped me off, I have been chilling by myself. So that kind of affected me a little bit too, because even though I went away for college, there wasn't really anyone I expected to be there, but because I'm I already kind of put in my mind that I would be closer to my family, it was kind of disappointing. So just I'm just trying to add up I had relationship problems and I had family relationship problems at the beginning of the year, but I still had it together. All my assignments were done. All the weekends I have spent here were spent doing homework, to be honest with you. And I come home, do my homework, that's it. Like, go to class, do my homework, everything. And then I think things started to kind of go downhill when, even though like my dad disappeared, I kind of was like, you know, I didn't have that much money, and I was like, can someone help me? And then it became like my other family who doesn't live here were like my brother was borrowing money from me. So it was just really stressful. And then my grades were kind of they were okay. You know what? I think I just like took these 2 tests and they kind of messed me up. And so that's why I was like, man, I'm a bad test taker, but I can come back from this. But it seemed like I was having little tiny breakdowns over stuff. Like maybe a breakdown, you know, I'm freaking out over my ex, or freaking out over my dad, or freaking out over money. But like, we had already passed midterms and there weren't too many assignments to do for my classes, and I just had this mega breakdown because my teacher just told me something that was so like, it was so racist, but he identified himself as black too, that I just, ever since he told me that, I kind of like had a super breakdown. Like, I haven't been able to do my work correctly. I dislike all my professors. You know, little assignments and little grades are slipping, and I can't like just blame all my problems on this professor, but I'm just wondering if anyone has had that breakdown where they're like, I don't like the city. I feel like the like, on top of both, I don't, after the professor telling me something that was really, really not appropriate, and kind of, it was a combination of all this stuff that like he had done, I'm starting, after he said that, I literally spent the whole next day looking up different schools I could apply to, and I know it's really difficult, but I think at this point I've never quit anything in my life, and this is the first time thinking about quitting. Like, I just don't see me being like happy with this whole program if that's kind of how it's gonna be. Like, it just seems like one bad thing after another bad thing. But I don't know, I guess what I'm trying to say is, anyone just not been able to handle their master's or PhD the first year? Has anyone switched programs? I guess more specifically, like, has anyone switched programs, and then has anyone just decided to leave after a year? It sounds stupid because it's only 2 years, but I'm just having so many breakdowns. I don't see it looking up like it did when I was an undergraduate. Like, I could see a resolution then, and now it just seems like every time I'm positive, something else pulls me down and I can't even focus. Like, today I couldn't even hear what that professor had said. I can't hear any professor because I'm just so angry at like what happened, and I can't get over it. Just, if someone out there has any advice for just starting a master's program and it not being what you expected at all, like, I think it's definitely might be too intense for me. But yeah, if anyone can help me, that would be great. I just kind of need to vent a little bit.